Congress MP Shashi Tharoor has reacted strongly as he posted the images of the destroyed sculpture at 1971 War Memorial Complex in Mujibnagar in Bangladesh. The sculpture, capturing the iconic moment of Pakistan's army formal surrender to Indian forces, was seen in ruined state and taking on the anti-India vandals in Bangladesh who have attacked the cultural centers, temples and Hindu homes. Tharoor has urged Muhammad Yunus to restore the law and order in the country, currently in the grip of widespread violence that has erupted during and after the mass protest against the quotas in government jobs. Muhammad Yunus, a Nobel laureate, is currently the head of the interim government in Bangladesh after the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh had to resign in the mass uprising of the protest. The sculpture was a real-life reproduction of the iconic photograph that records Pakistan's general former surrender to Indian forces. This all comes after former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had to forcefully resign and fled from Bangladesh on August 5th as violent protesters neared her official residence in Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh. All right, joining me on the broadcast are two esteemed guests, one with Madhav Nalapat, who's the editorial director of TSG, and also defense expert Anuj Mathur also joins us on the broadcast. While we understand how the Congress MP has now raised this issue where the focus on the statue that has been vandalized and the images that are coming are indeed shocking. What I would like to understand from my first guest, Mr. Nalapat, is that, of course, there has been time and again after the mass uprising in Bangladesh, a continuous attempt, and what we have seen through the images of the media reports as well, that the Hindus, particularly in Bangladesh, fear for their lives as they feel the security and the safety that was ensured to them in the previous government, which has been toppled, has now been snatched away.
Well, it's not just yesterday. It's been going on since 1972, 73. And this kind of killing of Hindus has gone on. Pro-Pakistan extremists have continued to exist there in small pockets. Sheikh Hasina was very successful in her first term in bringing many of them to book. In her second term, there was some dilution. By third term, she was frankly trying to help, in a sense, reconciliation with irreconcilable elements. And anyone who tries to reconcile with irreconcilable elements is making a huge mistake and creating problems for the future of and security. So it's a long-standing problem. Muhammad Yunus has got a chance to fix it. He's got a chance to remove the corrupt element. He can go down the history of Bangladesh as, after Bangabandhu, the greatest leader in Bangladesh, if he can eliminate the government of corrupt elements and who have really destroyed Bangladesh, and he can eliminate the scourge of extremism from the country. If he doesn't take up this task, he's going to be a failure in history, and his good name is going to be forever blotted by the fact that he presided over a genocide. So I'd just like to say, it's up to Muhammad Yunus now. He's convened some meetings. You can convene meetings. You can convene conferences. The problem is there in the face. You know the problem. Your intelligence assessments have given you the problem. All these are basically TV shows. They're basically for publicity, all these meetings. The fact is, we want effective results. And if effective results do not come, and Bangladesh falls into the hands of extremists, I'm sorry to say, the rest of the world will have to take action, as India took action alone, if I may say so, in the Bangladesh war in 71, when both China and the United States joined hands in a warm, and they had a warm embrace of Pakistan and the Pakistan military's genocide. If that history repeats itself, I'm sorry to say, there will be need for the United States to reconsider its stand and not add to the shame of 1971, the shame of Nixon and Kissinger, whoever is the president. And secondly, India cannot stand by while you have an extremist country, which is so important to India on its eastern side. So it's up to Muhammad Yunus to make history or to go down in history in an infamous way. Thank you.
All right. What we can understand from your comments, Mr. Nalapat, is that, of course, the world is very closely watching the developments that are happening on the ground and within the new sworn interim government in Bangladesh. But what we can understand in the events that have recently been unfolded, that there, of course, remains to be a larger concern on protecting the identity and, of course, the safety of the Indians and in particular the Hindu community back in Bangladesh after Sheikh Hasina has now fled the country in the view of the mass uprising. What I would like to also get a little bit of understanding from is from my another guest, defense expert Anuj Mathur. As we can understand what Mr. Nalapat was also saying, that Muhammad Yunus has to take up this matter as soon as possible. Now that the new government is formed, it is also on to his team to manage the crisis and to see that such developments do not actually make the extremists more powerful. How do you view such developments right now, Mr. Mathur? How important it is to maintain the stand as far as India's view on such activities continues, and should India be worried in the wake of such incidents as well?
Simran, thank you very much. Should India be worried? I'll start from there. Surely, absolutely, certainly we should be worried. This kind of genocide cannot be allowed to go on. Actually, these people from the Jamaat, this Jamaat is the organization which even in 1971 had supported the Pakistan army. It was against the formation of Bangladesh. And now what you see on ground is a direct reflection of what their mindset is, what their thought is. They are wanting to, remove every single, thing which suggests that Bangladesh was created by India, by Sheikh Mujib, with the help of the Indian army. So the actions are speaking. Simran, the issue is we need to take a very, very strong and very stern action. We have to tell Muhammad Yunus that, look, first thing that you do is to bring back the normalcy as far as the Bangladesh is concerned. The law and order has to get back, has to be established. This was never a student protest. Student protest was a pretext, and the Jamaat and the other extremists, that Islamist, Chhatra Shibir and other people, they were always wanting to create such kind of a situation in Bangladesh so that they can, it is the straight way to get back into the lap of Pakistan. So that is the issue. So that is what is our major concern. The concern of Hindus, minorities, I'll not say Hindus, minorities in Bangladesh, and also the concern of Bangladesh getting back into the lap of Pakistan and China. That was the actual game which the Jamaat had played, and the game has not begun now. The game has been going on for many years. For many years, they've been planning how to actually put it into action on ground. So Simran, the issue continues to remain that this is a very, very severe cause of concern for our country, and we need to make sure, and that making sure is not use of force. It is use of diplomacy, use of political pressure on the current regime, whatever regime is there in Bangladesh, a dialogue with people of the armed forces if need be. But we need to find a possible way out of this immediately. This may even cause a large number of Bangladeshis crossing over to India. After all, they have to save themselves. How do we handle a situation of that kind? So the point is, we probably are likely to get back to a situation of 1971 when we had 1 crore plus Bangladeshi refugees in India. And I know, so the point is there is a sure need of a proper action diplomatically, politically, and by creating international opinion against the situation in Bangladesh by us to be taken. Simran.
All right, Mr. Mathur, of course, what remains to be understood is the escalation does not escalate further as well in Bangladesh. That's why India definitely closely needs to monitor this through diplomacy. As you rightly pointed out, I'll request both of you to kindly stay on with us on the broadcast while we also move forward and come back to you for larger inputs on the escalation that has been unfolding in Bangladesh. As thousands of Bangladeshis camped along India-Bangladesh border, viewers hoping to cross over to India, the border security force has been on a high alert. The BSF has even detained multiple Bangladeshis in the past few days as they tried and attempted to infiltrate the Indian side amid the continuing violence in the neighboring country. Amid this, a video of a BSF officer pacifying a massive crowd trying to enter India has gone viral on social media. The video, purportedly shot from the Lal Manohirat district on the Bangladesh side of the border, West Bengal in Cooch Behar, shows hundreds of Bangladeshis standing chest deep in water in a wetland, asking the BSF to allow them while to cross over. The officer tries to explain explain in Bengali that they cannot be allowed. However, the video shows the crowd continuing to stay there despite the officer's attempt to pacify them, hoping for a chance to enter India. Thousands of Bangladeshi citizens have been trying to infiltrate the India as violent protesters continue to rule the streets since Sheikh Hasina's resigned as the Prime Minister of Bangladesh on August 5th. Amid the massive anti-government agitation, many Bangladeshi Hindus have also become targets of the continuing violence. Let's in fact now listen into what the BSF officer's appeal was and how difficult it was to pacify all the infiltrators that huddled at the India-Bangladesh border.
আমি যেটা বলতেছি আপনারা শুনেন, বাংলা বোঝেন তো সবাই? এখন মনে করেন আপনাদের যে সমস্যাগুলো সেটা তো সবাই জানে, আমরাও জানি, জানি তো। এখন মনে করেন যে আপনারা এসছেন, একটা আলোচনার ব্যাপার আছে, তাই না? এইভাবে তো একটা সমস্যার সমাধান হতে পারে না, বা আপনাদের আমরা চাইলে গেটের ভিতরে নিয়ে যেতে পারি না। আপনারা শোনেন না, মাঝখানে চিল্লা করে তো লাভ হবে না। শোনেন, এই যে আপনারা যে সমস্যা নিয়ে এসছেন, এটা পুরো পৃথিবীতে জানে তো। এখন মনে করেন এটা একটা আলোচনার ব্যাপার আছে এবং সেই আলোচনা হবে, তারপরে আপনাদের কি সুরক্ষা আছে কি না আছে সেটা আমরাও দেখব। এবং আপনারা দেখতে পাচ্ছেন যে আমাদের স্যাররা যে এসছেন, ঠিক আছে, অনেক বড় বড় অফিসার এসছেন, কথা বলতেছেন। এখন আপনারা যদি বলেন যে এখনই আমাদের ভিতরে ঢোকাতে হবে গেট খুলে, সেটা কি সম্ভব বলুন তো? তাহলে আমাদের তরফ থেকে আমি রিকোয়েস্ট করতেছি, আমাদের সাহেব রিকোয়েস্ট করতেছে, আর আপনারা তো বুঝতে পারছেন যে শোনেন, আমার আগে কথাগুলো শোনেন। যেহেতু স্যার বাংলা বলতে পারে না, ঠিক আছে, সুতরাং আমি স্যারের তরফ থেকে বাংলায় বলতেছি, আপনারা শোনেন। তো আপনাদের যে সমস্যাগুলো, ঠিক আছে, সেটা আলোচনার মাধ্যমে সমাধান হবে। তা আমরা আমাদের তরফ থেকে রিকোয়েস্ট করতেছি, হ্যাঁ, আপনারা চলে যান। সেটা আজকেই তো 1 ঘন্টা বা 2 ঘন্টার মধ্যে সমস্যার সমাধান হতে পারে না, পারে কি? তাহলে আমরা জানি ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে, এই জিনিসগুলো আমরাও বুঝতেছি, তারাও বুঝতেছে।
All right, now our colleague Nibir Deka joins us to share more details on the current escalation that has been ongoing at the India-Bangladesh border through West Bengal. Nibir, as we can see in the video that has in fact also gone viral on the social media, what is the exact point of contention that is becoming a hurdle by the BSF and the increased paramilitary forces at the border, trying to also pacify the Bangladeshi nationals to stop entering them into the India? And what is exactly the situation like? Is it violent and is it under control? What more details can you share with us on this front?
Well, the tensions have been simmering in the Indo-Bangladesh border as the BSF have been time and again stopping all sort of infiltration bids. As people from Bangladesh gather in this Bengal border, the BSF are trying to pacify those people from preventing them to enter India. And this exercise is very crucial because amid the prevailing situation in Bangladesh, there is insecurity and there is tensions in the community, and as such they are trying to enter India. And the BSF is now trying to pacify those people who we have seen on the video which has been viral, and trying to tell them to wait. And these approximately Bangladeshi nationals are mostly Hindus who have approached the border seeking refuge in India. However, the BSF has quickly responded and they are coordinating with the Bangladesh border guards of Bangladesh as well to ensure that these people were taken back and thereby preventing any further escalation on this matter.
All right. Nibir, thank you with all these details that you have put forward with us on the broadcast as far as the refugee influx from Bangladesh after the massive escalation has happened. I'd like to go back to my guest once again to get more detailed perspective on this. Mr. Mathur, as we can understand, the situation and the chaos, particularly in Bangladesh, continues to give signals which indeed could be worrying for India, as you also correctly mentioned, when the refugee influx is concerned. Now, as the numbers of the Hindu nationals, of Bangladeshi Hindus is concerned, coming from Bangladesh, as chaos persists in the neighboring nation, continues to increase, while the troops are patrolling on the border to stop the Bangladeshis, especially particularly Hindus, to enter from the border areas. What India's stand could be also in trying to maintain the normalcy, because the new interim government seems to be a bit on a back foot as far as such incidents and controlling the incidents are concerned. The focus for the new interim government indeed should have been on returning the normalcy to the state and of course at larger to pacify the protesters. But however, it's unfortunate to see that there is a looming threat of the refugee influx from the neighboring nation, and it is more on the part of the Indian side to maintain and pacify the security measures across the border to stop the refugee influx, and also the Hindus who have been facing the attacks ever since Sheikh Hasina had fled the country.
Simran, absolutely right. You know what the requirement is? Restoration of normalcy, restoration of law and order. You see, the point is, whatever we may say, I mean, Hindus and minorities and everything else is what it is. But the fact of the matter is that it is their internal matter, and they are an independent sovereign country. So intervention of any kind, to my mind, and I'm sure we are also not talking of it, is not going to be the right real politics. But the point is, we need to make sure that adequate pressure is put on the Mohammed Yunus government in the current dispensation to make sure that the situation is brought back to normalcy, the law and order is restored, and adequate measures are taken to, one, ensure security of minorities in the country, two, make sure that every single thing which concerned itself with the liberation war is being destroyed. You know it now, Simran, that who these people are, who is at the back of their movement. It is not a movement, it is out and out vandalism. And the fact of the matter is that it has to stop. And the government of Bangladesh can do it. What we need to do is to put diplomatic pressure on Bangladesh. See, there was a time when Bangladesh economy was a flourishing economy. In fact, in certain parameters, they were even doing better than India. So this particular period of time is going to dent them very, very severely. If that is one issue because of which we can put pressure on them, one. Two, whoever, whether minority or otherwise, they are, after all, Bangladesh. So they need to be told. So we need to make sure, have dialogue with the top hierarchy of Bangladesh, make sure that adequate measures are taken. If need be, force applied, security provided to the minority pockets, or, if they're pockets, otherwise they can be spread all over, which seems to be the case. I've been there, I have seen Bangladesh, how it looks. So the point is, there is a definite need of bringing back of normalcy, restoration of law and order, and making sure that once that is done, make conditions livable for everyone in Bangladesh. Today, it is not only the minority community. You see, Simran, they are also targeting everyone who was related or connected some way or the other with Awami League. So the point is, these people are antisocial, these people are vandals, and these people are working on the thing of Pakistan and to an extent China. China is also, it has been rubbed on a wrong side, whether it is Tista project or their PRI projects in Bangladesh or whatever it be. But the point is, we need to make sure diplomatically that adequate pressure is applied on the current dispensation to make sure they bring back normalcy. And one more thing, please. Simran, the last point is they need to reduce pressure on the border. These people need to go back. After all, out of the 4,100 kilometers international border between India and Bangladesh, about 1,000 kilometers is not even fenced. So there is always a possibility people crossing over. So they need to, it is not us. The onus lies on Bangladesh to
Mr.
take their people back.
We hear what you're saying, and essentially the crux of it is that the Bangladesh government promptly needs to act in the wake of such attacks as well. The viewers, this was all the news of the nation.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.